This is Pre-Algebra, Course 3, Lesson 7. Our objective is how do you use rates and find measures of central tendency. So kind of two parts. The first part is rate. First of all, I guess you need to know what a rate is. A rate is two measures related by division. For example, 30 miles over 1 hour, or 200 or 2,000 feet over 1 second, or one book every 3 weeks. These are all examples of rates because there is two measures and they're dividing by each other. Now what we call a unit rate is a special kind of rate. So just a rate, but with a denominator of 1. So notice right here, my denominator is 1. So this is a unit rate, as well as this one, my denominator is 1. So this is a unit rate. However, this one over here, even though I got a 1 in it, is not a unit rate because the denominator is not 1. So just real quick on how to use some rates. I guess you know a lot of these rates, or you've used rates. 30 miles over 1 hour. Another way of saying miles per hour is just mph. So 30 miles per hour. 2,000 feet per second. This would be feet per second. Right? You've probably seen some of those, maybe like in airsoft guns, or we're talking about the speed of a car. This one's not as common, but it's still a rate. Alright, so example 1 says that if you're going 55 miles per hour, approximately how far will you have gone in 6 hours? Well, notice it said 55 miles per hour, so that's why I wrote it like this: 55 miles per 1 hour. And if you can get that right there, you'll get past, you're doing a lot better than a lot of people will. And then you're multiplying them by 6 hours over 1, which is really just 6 hours. So notice my units here will reduce of hours. And I'll have 55 times 6, which comes out to be 3,025 miles over 1, or just 3,025 miles. So it's approximately how far you will have gone in 6 hours if your average speed is 55 miles per hour. Example 2 says this person hiked for 100 kilometers. It took them 4 hours. What is their average speed? Well, to find their average speed is just asking you to find its unit rate. To find its unit rate, I just need to take that 100 and divide by 4. Well, 100 divided by 4 is going to give you 25 kilometers per hour. And since it's just 1 hour, right? 4 goes into that 1 time, 4 goes into that 25 times. Which I have no idea then why I wrote the 20. I apologize for that. So the answer should be 25 kilometers per hour. Moving on here to the next part, we're talking about measures of central tendency. Well, measures of central tendency is just another name for the word average. Now, when we normally talk about average, what you've learned so far, you always think about a list of numbers, maybe like this one, and you add up all those numbers and you divide by how many numbers there are. So, for instance, this one that we have here would be like saying 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. And since there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, I would divide by 5. Right? Now, that word average is kind of a generic term that has been over the years classified to represent just this one here. But measures of central tendency includes all of these, so they're all kind of different kinds of averages. So when we say the word mean, that's what you are used to calling just an average. So you would do that same thing here. Would that be 20 over 5? So the average would be this, which would equal to 20 over 5, which is equal to 4. That's my mean. Now the median is the middle one. If you ever heard that word median, it's whenever you have a divided highway where you have like a road going this way and a road going this way. That green all in the middle is what we call the median. That's why you see signs that say keep off median. That's talking about the middle. So when we're talking about these, the median of the numbers is simply the middle one. But of course, whenever you order them from smallest to largest. So as I reorder these from smallest to largest, I'm going to say 2, 3, 4, 4, 7. I'm looking at the middle one right here. So in this case, the median would be 4. Now, this next one here, I wrote it wrong. This should be mode. So I apologize for that. Should be mode equals the most often, or the one that shows up the most. In our example here, the one that shows up the most is 4. Or up here is 4. Notice 4 shows up twice, whereas all the rest of them only show up once. So then my mode is 4. And then the range, which is the last one we're going to talk about here, is just the biggest number minus the smallest number. In this case, the biggest number is 7. The smallest number is 2, so it would be 5 minus 2, which is equal to 5. So in this case, the range would be 5. Now notice, in this example that we did, the mean, median, mode all came out to be the same. That's not always the case, but sometimes it can be true. But just kind of follow that basic principle. One note I forgot to mention on the modes is there may be more than one. And there may be none. So there may be more than one, there may be none, or there might just be one. So it's just something to think about. Let's do one more example here. This is just ones that I made up. First, let's find the mean. To find the mean, I'm going to add up all those numbers. 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. I'm going to divide all of that by 6. Let's see, those two would be 10. This one and this one would be another 10. And then those two would be 7. So it's going to be 27 over 6, which is 4.5. So the mean is 4.5. The median, of course, is the middle one, so I'm going to order them from smallest to largest. 2, 3, 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. Make sure that when you're doing this that you have the same number as what you started with. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. 6 numbers up here. Sometimes if there's a long list, you might accidentally miss one. That's why I kind of crossed them off. So then I just need to look at the middle number. Well, the middle number, since I have 6, it's either 4 or 5. But the middle number in this case then will be the average of those two middle numbers. Or think of just the average of those two. So to find the average, I'm going to say, or to find the median, I need to find the average of the middle two. 4 plus 5 over 2, 9 over 2, which is actually 4.5 as well. To find the mode, I need to see the one that shows up the most often. I'm going to refer to this list here. So 2 shows up just one time. 3 just shows up one time. 4 only shows up one time. 5 shows up one time, 6 shows up one time, and 7 shows up one time. Since none of them show up more than once, my mode is going to be none. There is no mode. And then to find the range, I'm going to take the biggest number, which in this case is 7, subtract the smallest number, which in this case is 2, and my range is going to be 5. Your homework is going to be on page 45. You're going to do all of them from this lesson, from 7, all from 6, and 10 more, which is going to be a total of 15. I hope you don't mind only having 15 problems. Good luck.